This is former WWE and TNA Impact superstar Mike Knox, a.k.a. Nux. You are listening to The Final Count. Keep it tuned. Hey everybody, Anthony Corelli here, formerly known as Santino Morella. You are listening to The Final Count.
This is former WWE superstar Victor, and you are listening to The Final Count.
Hi everybody, my name's Berto, and this is my service animal, Hippo, with our good friend Eric. Eric, and you're here listening and watching The Final Count podcast. Yay!
Hey, it's Eric Ortiz, voice of the Valley from OVW, and you're checking out The Final Count.
Citizens, this is Super Z, and you're watching The Final Count.
Welcome to The Final Count. Here is your host, Rymode Mosley, and your co-host, the 502 Ace, Brian Dixon.
What's up? Wow, that was a long one. What is going on again here tonight?
It seems like last week we was missing the third person in the intro, and it seems like this week we're
where's Chris again?
I don't know about, but last week after that episode, I was sent the same video again from somebody. So I guess I'll play it and then
not again. Come on now.
We'll see where we go from there. But yeah, I received it again, so I don't know what it could mean.
Buy the shirt. Join the revolution. Buy the shirt. Join the revolution.
This keeps happening.
What?
Hey, I was just sent the video, man, and I was just told to play it. Without further ado, Madman Chris, welcome in, brother.
Why again?
Gentlemen, tonight I am not in the mood for any fun and games, any mockery, and I promised you something last week, that there is a higher level of intelligence watching this podcast, and I give to you tonight, I fulfill my promise. I did not come alone.
Wait,
he brought somebody with him?
What?
Whoa. Hold on.
What is this? What, Star Rider? What?
That's right. Are you surprised?
Man.
What's up, Brian?
Oh my gosh. What? You're an alumni of the show, obviously, but what? Chris, how did this happen? What?
I think first and foremost, how about we give a proper introduction to our OVW Rush Division's champion and member of the Revolution.
Okay, love you.
Star Rider.
That's right.
Well, I mean, I wanted him to become Rush champion again, but not in the way he did it. What's
wrong with the way that I did it? Like, go ahead, explain that.
Leather Daddy Doug? The Revolution?
So that makes me a bad guy. Why does that make me a bad guy? I was presented with an offer that anybody that was in my shoes would have taken. That doesn't make me a bad guy. That makes me a smart man, the smartest man alive. Anybody's offered X amount of dollars, a championship, would have taken that opportunity. I did nothing wrong. So you can like me, you can hate me. I'm a champion. That's all I got to say about that.
And let's not forget it. He's the star of the show.
Do you see what I did last night to Cash Flow? Did you see that? I beat Cash Flow on my own. No help from the Revolution. Tony Gunn retained the media title. No help from the Revolution. But what happened in the main event? We lost the tag team titles because of interference from Team OVW. I'm just going to throw that out there. We played by the rules.
This also happens too.
And I want to make some.
Okay, well,
we will discuss that later. However, I want to make a quick statement. It is crazy to me that I've been seeing all over social media all day long how Team OVW, they got one up on the Revolution. And, they say all we do is cheat and we do everything we can, to tank the rules. Well, here's the thing. What did we do last night? We ran roughshod over OVW. And what happened in the main event, just like the star of the show just said, we got robbed. Because you know what happened? That veteran Jack Vaughn decided to stick his nose back where it does not belong. I hate to see what's going to happen with the repercussions that come through the further weeks by the greatest father anybody could ever ask for. And I'm talking about Leather Daddy Doug.
That's right.
Seriously, are you going to worship this man? I mean,
why are
I guess you already do, but
why are you not worshiping Daddy Doug?
Look at the abuse of power. The abuse of power. Like, seriously. The abuse of power. Leather Daddy Doug.
What has he done to abuse power? What has he done?
Changing rules out of nowhere. That was clearly that will last night was clearly, and we'll get to that later in the show, but it was clearly rigged. Every match
it was rigged.
Yes.
It was rigged. So you think me having to face cash flow for my Rush Division Championship, you think Doug would have set that up? No.
Yeah.
That wheel was legitimate. And it was stupid that it landed on cash flow, by the way. But
yeah, he looked upset about that. I mean,
but hey, who's laughing now? Who's standing? Who went through a table last night?
That's right.
Wasn't me. I beat cash flow, the biggest win of my career, and still Rush Division champion.
And let's not forget, not only did he beat Cashflow, but he beat a multimedia superstar now who premiered on Tulsa King. So he's not the star of his own show, because the star of the show at OVW showed the star that went down to do Tulsa King, who the real star should have been in the first place. Who's the champion? Who went through the table, gentlemen? It sure wasn't Star Rider. And as far as Leather Daddy Doug goes, his leadership has been second to none. He is granted all of us all the glory to be basked in by his leadership. And I promise you this, all the rumors that's coming out saying that Al Snow will be coming back, I guarantee you this, Doug and the Revolution is always one step ahead.
Well, we shall see. But Star Rider, what do we owe the I guess pleasure of you being here?
Well, I heard you had an issue with me. So what's the issue, Ryan?
Why are you picking battles you know we cannot win? We are outnumbered.
Why?
And you keep picking these battles with these people.
It's the Revolution.
Especially the star of the show.
The way that they are running things. And we got Chris. Now, apparently, he somehow the Revolution we're taking over the podcast here or something now?
We're taking over everything. We're always watching. We're always watching everybody. We're watching, especially you, Ryan, in every move that you make, every step you take, every breath you breathe. We're watching and we're listening.
Wow, I just don't know what to think about this.
Gentlemen, let's not waste our OVW Rush Division's champion's time. His time is present, and he's not here to be ignored. He's not here to be shown disrespect. Let's make his time worthwhile, because I promise you this. If it is not worthwhile and he goes back and Leather Daddy Doug finds out about this, this is not good for any of you. So let's make our champion feel at home.
That's right. That's right. Preach.
So what else are you here to let us know? Is there something else on the agenda or anything? Or
yeah. So October 30th, there's another member of the Revolution right there, right on cue. October 30th. Your special guest that night on the final countdown is going to be none other than Revolution member, OVW Women's Champion, J-Rod.
Oh my gosh.
And I would not piss her off. That is a bad, bad girl right there. So just be ready. October 30th, you're going to have to answer to J-Rod.
You kidding me, Ryan? Here we go again.
Well, I guess the Revolution has really taken over.
Taken over everything.
Wow.
Is that all you guys have for our Rush Division champion? Are you kidding me?
Anything else? Any questions, comments, concerns you guys want to bring my way while I'm here right now?
Hey, all I got to say is Ryan started this battle.
Ooh.
What? You're supposed to be on my side.
And your own partner.
I will give you more details later because you're the one that started these battles, sir.
Battles?
Just remember what was asked last week. We'll get into that later.
But
until then, let's continue. Let's praise our Rush Division champion here.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. As
going.
We should.
Keep praising me.
I will give it to you. You are the Rush Division champion. Like I said, not the way I wanted it to happen, but you are the Rush Division champion, so congratulations on that.
There we go. That's what I was waiting on. It took you, 12 and a half minutes to say congratulations to me? A little disappointed, Ryan. 12 and a half minutes it took you to say congrats.
Well,
Star Rider, sir, I have to admit myself, I will take partial fault for this because I gave too much accreditation to these two gentlemen. I thought that they was not going to waste your time. That is my fault, you kind sir. Please forgive me. And I promise you this. What happens eventually later down the road, I'll take care of it. Don't you worry about it.
No worries, Chris. No worries at all. You were forgiven.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I guess, Star Rider, since you're here, how can everyone find you on social media and all that good stuff?
Go to Twitter, go to Instagram, @Rider of the Stars, Facebook, Star Rider.
All right. I guess I've been put on notice.
That's right. You have. I don't want to hear any other bad talk about the Revolution coming out of you or your partner's mouth over there. You respect.
I haven't said one bad thing. That's
the Revolution.
That's starting it.
You respect the Revolution. You respect your Rush Division champion.
Yeah. One more thing, Chris, are you feeling creamy?
Did I not just say no? You don't disrespect the Revolution or any supporters of the Revolution. That is a touchy subject. That should be illegal. What Beaches and Cream are doing. It is disgusting. It's not funny.
I beg to differ, but I guess we thank you for your
You guess?
coming on.
You guess?
Okay, we do thank you for your coming on.
There we go. That's better. You don't guess. You thank the star of the show for coming on here.
Let me take this away, Ryan and Brian. Let me do a perfect send-off for ROVW Rush Division's champion.
There we go. I want to hear this.
The star of the show, Star Rider.
Well,
you keep digging these holes bigger and bigger with the Revolution, man. We just had Star Rider come on here, and now we're gonna have
J-Rod.
Are you kidding me?
Chris, did you do this?
Let me say this. What have I been telling you guys last week and even a little bit before? I promised both of you, and you thought I was lying. You saw all the signal going out and all the weird feeds. You think that just happens by accident? No, I told you there is a higher level of intelligence that is watching this show, and it's stuff like this that is going to cause more problems. You heard what Star Rider just said. Show respect and to proud followers, proud soldiers. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, we always win. And J-Rod, our queen, our current OVW Women's Champion, she will be coming on too. And I promise you both, gentlemen, you do not want to piss her off. So please, let's go forward with this show and let's make it good. Or I will have to do what I did last week. And all it takes is the signal of excellence.
Oh gosh. Well, I'm not excited to see where this show goes tonight. But nonetheless, we're here. Let's get into SmackDown. What do y'all say?
Let's do it.
WWE Smackdown from last Friday night. That was October 11th, 2024 edition. We have a big major thing to start off SmackDown, and Roman Reigns acknowledges, the OTC acknowledges Jimmy Uso.
Big Jim.
Big Jim. Who would ever thought? Like, what did y'all think about that? I don't think it really was a surprise, but it was a great way to like see where like the family is like starting to reunite, I guess.
Listen, you can vouch for me on this. I've been saying it.
Yeah.
Solo, the Tongas, and Jacob versus Roman, Jimmy. Jay drops the IC title, joins back with the original Bloodline, and they still need a fourth partner. War Games, Survivor Series.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that
I've been saying that for months and months. So.
You have. Yep. And I completely agree. I think Jay's, and it's inevitable at this point, since he's back in the picture. He's going to have to probably drop the title to create more tension and more friction with that storyline. I think Roman understands that, kind of what Cody said. He's a tribe. He's got no tribe. He's just a chief alone. And now you got, Solo, who's claiming to be the tribal chief. He's got the Ulafala. And I agree. I think at War Games, we're going to see the Tongas. I think we're going to see Solo. We're going to see Jacob. And I think you're going to see Roman, Jimmy, Jay. And the fourth one, I'm not sure. I'm kind of torn. I don't know if it's going to be Zilla that gets called out. Part of me kind of wants it to be Sami Zayn, just because it makes sense. But I like where it's going. I think it's perfect.
No, for sure. I think Sammy be the go-to pick right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the original Bloodline, the OTC, the OG Bloodline, if you want to call it that, the OG Bloodline.
Absolutely.
So Jimmy Uso told Roman Reigns they're not the ones anymore. And that's how that segment closed. That opening segment closed. Then we have Andrade. He makes his way down to get a closer look at the action with Carmelo Hayes versus LA Knight.
Yeah.
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 Let
me talk to you.
Let me talk to you. Yeah. He's playing mind games with Hayes, and Hayes took it during the match. Hayes takes it to the champion, countering the BFT with a kick to the back of Knight and almost scoring a shocking pinfall on the Megastar. And the competitors exchanged counters until Knight landed the BFT to gain the win. So United States champion LA Knight defeats Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying, yeah. Carmelo Hayes and Andrade and LA Knight. Do we think this is going to lead to a triple threat for the United States Championship at some point?
Yes.
I
see it happening.
Yeah.
I think LA Knight's, he needs the dude is just so over, and I worry kind of with the same thing that Cody's been having issues with, is finding legitimate heel challengers. Like, to, his stuff, like I said, with AJ was perfect. Like LA Knight, I want to see him cook more, man. I want to see him be able to go into programs with people that can really challenge him character-wise and make him, be a little bit more vulnerable, but be vulnerable in a way where, you think, oh, well, wait a minute, this guy could really, take the title off of him. And I think Andrade and, I think Carmelo Hayes, I've been really high on for a long time since he was in NXT.
Oh, yeah.
Pun intended. Yeah. But I think LA Knight needs to find. He's been in a hot groove for a while. Like, the fans love him. He's so over. His merch is selling. I just want to see him in legitimate championship title matches like that. Can really elevate not only his work, because what he does on the mic is incredible. I think his in-ring work is good too, but he needs to have strong contenders. I think a triple threat would make sense. I would enjoy that. I think the workload in the match would be perfect. So yeah, I think it's going to be a triple threat.
Definitely. Then we have Kevin Owens. He reveals why he attacked the undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes at WWE Bad Blood, and Randy Orton attempts to resolve the conflict between the two. Comes in down to a brawl, and you're gonna have to think we're gonna have to see Kevin Owens again versus Cody at some point, possibly down the road. Especially with that attack. That attack can't go unwarranted.
Right.
Yep. I mean, I've been saying for a while, I think when we did the Bash in Berlin thing, we were kind of, talking like, when is it going to potentially happen and like how soon? And Kevin Owens is a beloved character on screen by everybody. People love him backstage. People just love him in general. He is at his best when he is that heel. Like, he's just so much better. He's more, to me, his work is more intriguing. I think being a babyface, he's good at it. But I think just being a heel for him, he's just so natural at it. And I just think that they're going to have another couple of matches in this program with each other. And I think eventually, like I said, I think last week, I still see Cody coming out on top. And I think that you're going to see layers of Cody and his trust with all his friends that he thinks that is his friends. It's going to start to dwindle away. And Kevin is just the beginning of that, because I think down the line, it's going to end up being him and Randy at some point. And then Randy, when he swerves and does what he does against him, only like the Viper can do, it's really going to make Cody more vulnerable. And I think his character needs that. Yeah. Everybody knows he's the guy. He's the champion. He's selling the second most merch, or in the top 3 or 4. And, he needs, them heels to go up against. And who's better to do it when he's able to just go out there and be himself? Kevin Owens can be that heel. He can be that heel, man.
It's true. Like you said, the NXT Kevin Owens.
Oh
Yes, the prize fighter Kevin Owens.
Oh gosh,
the
that was
ultimate heel. Like, give me
Yeah.
that, please. Main roster, please.
yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, they already gave him his song in Titantron, so I mean,
Yeah.
it's only a matter of time before we get the main heel.
Exactly. We have the NXT superstars Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson make their SmackDown debut. Legend and Jackson did not waste their opportunity attacking Belair and Cargill from the jump because they were in a match against the tag champions. And then Chelsea Green. However you say it, or however she says it.
Ain't she awesome? She's
I can't
awesome.
do Samantha Orvin any justice at all. But Chelsea Green and Piper Niven jaw-jacking with Legend on the outside because they were at ringside. Legend booted Green right into the lap of Michael Cole. Belair and Cargill kept calm under the pressure, hitting a unique tandem code breaker suplex combo to win the match and retain the titles. As the titles were on the line. I failed to mention that. But yeah, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven possibly coming for the tag titles again.
I could see it happening.
I think at this point it makes sense just because I feel like they need. I don't feel like they have any other direction currently for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think right now it makes probably the most sense. Chelsea Green she's just that annoying, like you just can't stand her when she talks, but like she's not Vicky Guerrero.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord, no.
But I will say this: as far as the crowd getting annoyed with her, just when her entrance, like just everything that she does, and like she is the annoying Karen, is what she is. She's just basically the wrestling version of a Karen.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Piper, which it's hard for me to not like her. I know she's trying to be, but like she's just so to me likable. And I've always been a big fan of her, but I'm trying to like get into her being a heel. But like I can't see that as much as I can with Chelsea. And it's nothing against Piper. I think I like her too much for me to be like, oh, I can't boo her, like so I think that's where they're going, though. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. Then we have the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax. She comes out and she has her hands full with Naomi, and Women's World Champion Liv Morgan comes out during this match when it was Naomi versus Nia Jax. Liv Morgan comes out. What did you do? Was seriously again?
Ryan, I'm just listening to you talk. I haven't done nothing.
Oh,
I have done no wrong. Once again, sir, I am wrongly accused.
All right, we'll see. Nia Jax has her hands full when Naomi when a Women's World Champion Liv Morgan comes to the ring, calling for the Queen of the Ring winner. And then the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax was confronted by Liv Morgan, whom she'll face at WWE Crown Jewel. Morgan was flanked by fellow Judgment Day member Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Raquel Rodriguez. What do you think about this
damn Revolution, man?
You okay over there, Brian?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Revolution keeps pulling me off and telling me different things. So
what? Wait, what?
But anyways, what was we just talking about?
Hold on. The Revolution's pulling you away?
Huh?
You just said the Revolution's telling you things.
No, I said I'm back from using the restroom.
He just went to the restroom, Ryan. That's all it is. You misheard.
So where are we at in this?
We were talking about WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax versus Naomi. And Liv Morgan interrupts that match, as well as Dominic Mysterio and Raquel Rodriguez. They got a match at Crown Jewel to see who's going to be the women's Crown Jewel champion of 2024.
Liv Morgan.
We'll get to those predictions in a couple weeks, actually. And that'll actually be on the show. So, that'll be a pretty big show right there. Actually, no, that'll be the following. Never mind. But yeah. So, anyways, this Crown Jewel match coming up between Nia Jax and Liv Morgan to see who's going to be the first women's Crown Jewel champion. And so that's going to be a big match. I love how they're doing this right now. Having Liv Morgan come to SmackDown and Nia Jax come to Raw, and Tiffy time as well, which we'll find out about that during Raw. During the match, Naomi used her quick feet to dispel Jax, but the Queen of the Ring bounced Naomi straight to the floor at ringside with an almighty Samoan drop. Miss Money in the Bank, Tiffany Stratton, speaking of Tiffany Stratton, I tried to help Jax, but got stomped by Rodriguez. With Jax about to hit Naomi with the Annihilator, Morgan stole the Money in the Bank briefcase and hit Jax with it, allowing Naomi to pin the WWE Women's Champion. Rhea Ripley makes an impact on SmackDown, taking out Women's World Champion Liv Morgan, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, and Raquel Rodriguez. So, just as Liv's got her thing going on with Nia Jax, Rhea's still on the chase. Then, despite Jimmy's best efforts, he could not overcome in the main event. He could not overcome the Bloodline when he took on Solo Sikoa. The Bloodline distracted Jimmy long enough for Sikoa to put down his brother with the Samoan spike. After the match, Roman Reigns came to Jimmy's aid, but Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, Tonga Lola, and Sikoa brutally assaulted Reigns and Jimmy to stand tall to close out SmackDown.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it was the right call, story-wise. I think, the Temu version of the Bloodline currently is what I've been calling them. They need as much heat on them as they can get because, Roman. I loved how it ended, where Jimmy's sitting there trying to recollect himself, and you could just see, you could read his lip, and you could kind of hear him saying, "We need help," saying, "We legit need help." And then Roman's rubbing his jawline, and he's just for the first time, I legit could tell that he sold it to the point where, all right, my cousin's right, even though he didn't say it, you can actually just visually just read his body language. And Solo, Jacob, and the Tongue, they need as much heat on them going into this eventually, whether it be the War Games or whatever they do, even if it's a little bit before then. Because on paper, Roman he's Roman, he's the OTC. But he can't do this alone. And you're starting to see when Roman was running Roughshod for about 4 years, he had everybody. He had his wise man. He had his enforcer. He had his right-hand man. He had Jimmy at one point. And now, all of a sudden, like I said just a little bit ago, all of that's now basically away. Now that Jimmy came back into the fold, they're trying to slowly get Jay back in. And then eventually, I think Sammy or somebody's going to come in because Roman, for the first time, like I said earlier, Cody mentioned it, he is a chief without a tribe. And he's not worked by himself and worked alone, but this OTC tribal chief, head of the table character, he's not really been where the odds has been against him, whether it be in the numbers game, right? So it shows vulnerability there. I think that Roman and Jimmy's going to get Jay back in it. They're going to build that. And then it's either going to be Sammy or it's going to be a call up, get Zilla or somebody. I mean, they're going to have to get another fourth person because right now, the way Jacob's cooking, Jacob Fatu right now, if you ask me, he's more intriguing than Solo. To me, right. Jacob is the real presence because he is the one Achilles heel right now to Roman. I mean, he's left Roman laying, like multiple times. When's the last time you seen Roman laid out in the last 4 years the way that they've made Jacob look just so credible against, him?
Right. Never. Yeah.
Yeah. So my point is Roman needs to get the OG bloodline. That's the only way this is going to work. He needs to get his wise man back. He needs to get everybody. And they're going to build toward that. And like I agree with Brian, I think War Games, it's going to happen. And then we can build off the story arc with that. But I think the way it ended was perfect. I think it's what it needed. It's not what me as a fan wanted to see. Right. But as a story, it made sense.
Definitely. I agree. I can agree with that. Well, that wraps up SmackDown. So let's head on over to Raw. What we got on the Raw side of things?
All right. Well, Monday Night Raw. Here we had the one and only Rhea Ripley kick off Monday Night Raw, and she wasted little time calling out Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. However, she got interrupted by Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffy time.
Basically saying she has big trouble if she crosses WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax again. And then Morgan and Rodriguez hit the ring and beat down both women before standing tall at the closing segment. Can we just I love that they got Liv as the World Women's Champion. She's a heel. And they got Raquel Rodriguez back after everything that's happened to her.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn good seeing Raquel as a heel.
Yep.
I know she was over as a babyface, but
she should have been, in my opinion, a heel a long time ago.
Yes, I agree. And then later on that night, you see Rhea Ripley and Stratton, who will take on those two later on in the show. And then we would have the women's tag team title match with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair taking on Damage Control. I still think Jade and Bianca's a really good tag team, but near future we're going to get that breakup and then that feud with those two girls. But I think it was a great match with those, of course, and Bianca and Cargill still retain over Damage Control. But then wasn't Jackson and Legend there too, ringside?
Yes, in the crowd. And so was.
It's good seeing them have NXT talent, main roster, and having something to do with the matches.
It also promotes NXT too, so that's a good thing.
Yep,
and NXT's been doing incredible. I love seeing them on the road and not just in Florida.
Yes,
seeing bigger venues, arenas. You know what I mean? It kind of reminds me of when they used to do the big takeovers.
Yeah.
I love that. And then we get a pre-recorded promo of Braun Breaker basically explaining his actions from last week against Jey Uso, basically saying your family cannot save you from me. This is the Braun Breaker I want, the ultimate heel, like I said last week.
Ain't he a badass though, dude?
Yes, literally.
Yeah. He legit, if you see that dude out in public and he came up to you, whether you're at a bar or at a restaurant, he's just like, hey, not you or your family. Cause it just look I'd probably piss my pants. I'm not even going to lie.
I'd take off running. I'm like, look, I'm not messing with you. I'm out.
Right.
Leave me alone.
Right.
And then Adam Pearce sat down with Big Bronson Reed and got him to agree to non-physical confront Seth Rollins. If he could do that, he would grant him a match against the Visionary, which I'm so glad Seth Rollins is back. Yes, I will see this.
That feud, let me just say, is going to be.
Yeah.
He took him out with, what was it, 5 or 7 tsunamis?
I think it was 7.
This is going to be a good feud.
And it took Seth Rollins one stomp to take him down straight to the stairs. But no, I think, and like I said, it's going to be a great feud. It's great having Seth back. Bronson Reed's a beast.
Yeah, he is.
Love that dude.
I love when Wade's on a tsunami.
And this is what I'm excited for, man. We have an Improp 2 Tag Team #1 Contenders Tournament to see who's going to be, become #1 contenders to World Tag Team Championships. We have Alpha Academy's Otis and Akira Tozawa taking on the returning War Raiders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me the best version of the War Raiders. When they was in NXT under that name, like Triple H is giving us everything we've wanted since it got taken away. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's giving us everybody back how they was.
Yep.
The War Raiders even got their old theme song back.
And they should have. I mean,
None of that Viking Experience bull crap or Viking Raiders. It's the War Raiders, like straight from NXT to the roster.
The sad thing is, I'm going to stop y'all right there for a minute. You just said it, Brian. Triple H has given us everything that we've wanted for a long time that was taken from us. And I hate to keep throwing shade at one individual, but it just shows you who lost their touch in the game compared to the one who knows what they're doing.
VKM.
Yeah, the game.
But of course, that was a great match. War Raiders defeated Tozawa and Otis.
As they should. No shade. Akira and it is what it is. It needed to happen like that.
Yes, I agree. Just the War Raiders are amazing. Like that's probably one of my favorite tag teams from the NXT days to the main roster before they got flopped from.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this: who do you see dethroning the current tag team champions, world tag team champions of the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonough?
You go first, Brian. Who do you think?
I don't know. You got a lot of incredible tag teams, though, that can be anybody for real. I mean, they could build not just throwing this out there, they could build the Viking Raiders or the War Raiders to be this ultimate tag team that's coming back to take everything they lost.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or you could have, American Made with Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. I mean, that's great. It's throwing the team angle kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
That's exactly the team I was going to say.
Yes.
I rest my case.
But I say War Raiders or, American Made. Either one of those, I would like to see as the World Tag Team Champions.
Do you think we could see the tag titles come to the Wyatt Six?
Oh, I don't think right now.
Not right now.
I would see probably in the future. Let them build his brother's legacy. Let them run that on, continue with that, and then maybe down the road in the future, but I don't see it right now.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think at this point I don't think they need the titles at this point. I think that they need to keep building on what they're doing and his, Bray's legacy. And I will say this, and this might be controversial, and it's not Bo's fault. I don't even think it's Triple H's fault. I think they are trying and they're doing the best that they can. But I have to admit, at least when I've been listening, there have been weeks in certain cities where I feel like it's an underwhelming, applause and admiration other than the entrance. When the lights go, I do worry that are they being overexposed? Or they just do we need? I don't know what the answer is. I'm not saying Triple H and them don't have a better plan because I love Bo, I love the Wyatt Six, but if I'm just being honest and I'm using this, listening to the crowd, there are weeks, I'm not saying I hear crickets, but there are weeks that I don't hear that same, other than the initial when the lights go out.
Right.
I love them. I want them to succeed. I hope I'm completely right. I do kind of worry, a little bit.
I agree. And then we had a little backstage interaction with Raw general manager and Rollins, where he told Pierce that he said, "I have conquered Beast, I have slayed kings," and then all while reminding Pierce of what he's accomplished in WWE. And like I said, Seth Rollins was on top there for a while, man.
Yeah, he was.
Like building the best versions of himself, slaying the Beast, slaying the kings. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All of that. But then we got the Cody Rhodes and Gunther little promo here. And they're basically talking about where Cody Rhodes reminded Gunther that he defeated the most dominant title holder of the last decade at WrestleMania 40. Talking about Roman Reigns. And proof that he is more than a secondary champion, and that heel claimed he was.
Mm-hmm.
Gunther refused to handshake, wished himself luck, and walked out to close the segment. This match, I think, is really going to, put in the work that that we needed to see between the two top champions. What do you think? Like, you think this match is something that they're just throwing to us, or something that I don't know how to put it? I'm just gonna steal the show, I guess.
You go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think it's a match that would steal the show. I think, yeah, 100%. I think it's a match that they're not just throwing it to us. No, it's to steal the show for sure.
Yeah, and then Cody Rhodes basically. I just took myself off. I don't know what keeps happening, but here we are. Rhodes thanked the fans of St. Louis for being the originators of the "We Want Cody" chants. There's not many in this company that I respect, but I have respect for you, is what Gunther was saying to Rhodes. Everyone's friend is no one's real friend, is what Gunther said. You think you're swimming in deep waters, but your feet are still touching the bottom of the pool. You have never been in a ring one-on-one with me, the American Nightmare warned Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that right there done something to the rival. I was like, damn. Like, sometimes the words just hit more than you know what I mean? And the promo, when you actually sit and listen to them.
Yep.
And then Cody pretty much said, "I have already defeated the frightening beast," in reference to Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
As many, I don't know if you guys have seen or not, but Brock Lesnar's been added back to the active roster.
Yes.
So we could get a beast in the future.
It's
I dislike the guy, but we each their own, I guess. And then we get Braun Breaker versus Kofi Kingston. Breaker dominated early moments, and the outcome was seldom in question. Not even as Kofi fought his way back, the match did feel like it was a threat to Breaker, and ultimately he wasn't. The former IC champion explodes off the ropes with a spear and scored the win. Breaker has a mean spear, man. Like,
yeah, he does.
Goldberg-esque spear.
Yeah.
And
after
the match,
spatula to get me up if I got speared by him.
Yeah. Xavier Woods attempted to save, but Breaker threatened him to overwhelm him too. Jey Uso made the save, clearing the ring of the heel before standing tall. Their business is unfinished. Do you guys see Jey Uso dropping the title back to Breaker?
I hope not, but I think it will happen.
Because I heard Breaker had some backstage troubles with Triple H's why he had to drop the title.
He did.
I heard the same.
So,
I'll tell you what I would do at this point, and this is going to be a huge shock. I would keep them 4 in some way in a segment, meaning Kofi, Xavier, with that tension build with that. Have Breaker involved, have Jay involved, where Jay may not be the one that takes the pinfall. Have them have a fatal 4-way, or not. I know that's stupid because they haven't. Xavier's not turned, but let's just say Xavier in the match does heelish tactics when Kofi doesn't see, and let's just say Breaker goes crazy and haywire at ringside and goes through we always see that ring barricade break. Say Jay moves out of the way, he goes through the barricade. Say then Kofi hits a disaster kick or whatever, Trouble in Paradise. Kofi rolls back in the ring, and then think Xavier and them they're going to be cool. And then Xavier somehow rolls him up, grabs tights, and then he becomes IC champion, and he's fully a heel.
That I like that.
I know that's diluted with everybody involved, but at this point, it would be a shock. And I think, in my humble opinion, Xavier has always been, and I don't feel this way, but been to me viewed as the weak link out of the New Day.
Yeah.
And I think it's his time. I think
that, or also they could do an angle Breaker Spear, like Kofi and Xavier's in the ring, and they beat up who else was it? Jey Uso. They throw him on the outside. Breaker tries to spear Kofi, runs, hits the rope, bounces off, hits the other rope, or tries to spear Xavier. Xavier moves out the way. Kofi takes the punch. Xavier throws Breaker out of the ring. Xavier pins Kofi and turns heel. Takes the title.
Yeah.
I like both scenarios. I mean, I like getting the title on Xavier because then it gives Xavier a title, a singles title, which he has not had.
Yep. I just think the dude's worked hard his whole career, and I just feel like he's never been given them individual flowers versus a collective group of flowers for the whole group. And I know deep down Kofi would be for it behind the scenes. Big, everybody I'm sure wants to see that dude succeed, and they need to break him up. It's time that this happens. Xavier, to me, needs to be the one to go full heel. Let him get the IC title. Let him be a chicken crap heel. Let him go do what he's got to do. Let him go into a program with Kofi. Let them build on stuff. I would even bring Big E back in. I mentioned this last week. Have Big E try to be the one to be the voice of reason, and then have it look like Xavier's going to, come into his own again and regroup. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what bumps Big E is cleared to take, but if he can take one bump or do something, to have it look even more heelish and more horrible, that would create more heat on top of him holding the title.
Yeah.
And then it would be a springboard for him to go into a bigger, more, program with Kofi or whoever. Because, Braun Breaker eventually, let's be honest, he is going to be a world champion. That dude has got it. He's going to be a world champion. Jey Uso's going to win, I think, multiple championships. So I think he's too over. They don't need the title. I think it was good that Jey won. I think it was good that Braun had it. Who at this point on that Raw roster, outside of a Chad Gable, could use that IC title right now more than anybody? I think it'd be Xavier.
Yes.
I agree.
100%.
And then after that, man, we get a segment with Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna get a Dragon Lee push here.
Maybe.
Don't get me wrong, the dude's incredible. He's a great talent.
Yeah.
If they can move him from the LWO to give him, his ultimate run by himself on the main roster, Triple H knows how to build a star.
Yeah.
100%. He's been in and out of this business on both sides. Like I said, everything that's got taken, he's put it back to us.
Right.
But yeah, do you guys see Dragon Lee getting a major push or?
Dragon Lee, I think here's what I wish. I wish that WWE had a cruiserweight division again.
Yes.
Light heavyweight, whatever you want to call it. Just because for one, I was such a fan of those cruiserweight matches, light heavyweight title matches. The cruiserweight division to me was just off the chain back in the day, especially when I was growing up as a kid. It was off the chain. You had guys like Super Crazy, Psychosis. You had guys like Jamie Noble, Paul London, Brian Kendrick. Trying to think, Billy Kidman,
Dean Malenko.
Yeah. All these guys that you had, and just now you got guys like, Ultimate Dragon. I consider his name's slipping my mind right now. What would we just say? Dragon Lee. I consider Dragon Lee kind of like Ultimate Dragon, pretty much. Let's bring back the cruiserweight title. I think that would be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I would see him being a champion. Tag team champion, yes, of course, for sure. Possibly Intercontinental champion at some point, yeah.
Triple H is done everything, in my opinion, since he's been able to take full control. He's almost hit a home run every time. I would dare say, give it time. I think it's going to come. I think he's going to bring back the cruiserweight title. I've been hearing rumors, and I don't know, the sites I've been reading is that there is potential chance that the European title might make a comeback. Out of the two, the cruiserweight title is much more needed. But I think he is really trying to get back to his roots and what made when he was wrestling, like what he found to be intriguing and very important. And I mean, I would really be remiss if I didn't think of like how he was wrestling when he was wrestling and looking at what he valued as a level of importance and not compare it to today and with the people that they've got. And I'm just being honest. A lot of the talent that they have right now, you could put a lot of them in the cruiserweight conversation. Therefore, to have a cruiserweight division and to have a cruiserweight title, I think it's only at this point it's going to be inevitable. I could be wrong. I don't know. I think it's coming sooner than later.
And then that leads into R-Truth versus The Miz.
I love R-Truth. I can't say enough good things about that man. I love
the
him.
match was more like less about wrestling and more about advancing the story involving, ladder and carrying Cross here.
Yeah.
The Cross led the final testament of rival scene, distracting the A-lister seconds into the match, allowing Truth to steal the win. Afterwards, Cross instructed the Authors of Pain to attack Truth, which they did before rolling him back into the ring and The Miz delivering the Skullcrushing finale here. And then later that evening, Karrion Kross put up a tweet that said, "Once they hear me, it's over." Tagged the WWE. He said they don't believe in it. They think it's just coincidence. It's far stronger than their egos, and that's why it works every time. And then it goes on to say, "Hear my words." So are we going to see – what are we going to see here? What do you guys think? We're going to see, something involving The Miz with them, or –
selfishly enough,
yeah,
I would prefer to see just because I love R-Truth so much, and I like Miz too, but this is going to be kind of a weird answer. I wouldn't mind either. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing The Miz being something like that because it seems a little out of his box, like the whole Hollywood A-lister. Then you got like R-Truth if he was to. At this point, what they're doing with Karrion Kross, they needed to do this. They needed to do something different because I'm not going to lie. I think the dude has something to give. He's got the look. He's got that ominous feel to him and his character development. I don't know what's missing. Triple H has said in other, interviews that there's certain people that have the it factor and certain people that have potential to have it, but they're just missing something. Is this the missing something part that we're going to eventually get now with Karrion Kross put the puzzle piece fully to complete the puzzle? I guess time will tell. At this point, I'm fine with it either being The Miz, because I think that would be an intriguing setup, because The Miz is always, in my memory, always had some form of the like rich, snobbish, form of gimmick. And if he would go a little bit different, this would be the most out of range for him, in my opinion. So I'm kind of selfishly interested to see that.
What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, no, I think that The Miz will be with Karrion Kross and AOP and all that. Do I think he'd fit with them? No, not really. But I think it'd be a good addition to their group. Just like Chris said, it would be interesting to see this Hollywood A-lister.
You know what I think would work for him, guys? Now that I'm thinking of it, and he's never going to probably do this.
Yeah.
Shave his head bald, change his gear, make him a little bit more menacing. I don't know if he would A, want to do that. B, I don't know if he could. I'm not saying he couldn't deliver with it, but I think in the long scheme of things, would that be the return on investment that WWE would want? Like with this storyline, like if whatever they're trying to build on this with AOP, with, Karrion Kross, does The Miz actually in long term fit this where they can build on it and keep moving forward? Because if that's the case, they might need to try to change something more off the realm of things, so.
Yeah. No, like you said, I kind of make him a darker character in that way,
Yeah.
But no, I think that is what we're gonna get, something to, maybe not full fledged, but we are gonna get him with them for sure. Just because on a video I saw on WWE social media, that he walked back to the back with AOP and Karrion Kross.
I saw that too. Yep.
All right, well, backstage, Jey Uso opened his locker room door only to find Jimmy Uso waiting on him. He had no time for his sibling and walked away. A Wyatt 6 bumper aired in the middle of the match, just moments before the final testament appeared. I love how they're doing these little bumps and vignettes like throughout the show. Like that's something like Bray Wyatt used to do.
Yeah.
And it's just that thing about like we know they're here, they're coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of time of when and where.
Yep.
Another thing is Jay again refused to hear Jimmy out, telling him to get out of his face before leaving. And then we get the Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Of course, it ended in no contest here. But the heels capitalized on dissension between Ripley and Stratton early in the match. Instead, Nia Jax interfered, drawing disqualification. Ripley and Jax teed off before the latter laid out Morgan with the Annihilator, setting up Stratton to cash in her Money to Bank contract, but Dominic Mysterio saves his love interest, and the Judgment Day retreated to close out the show. I think Rhea and Tiffany teaming up was like a little fun dynamic there.
I enjoyed it.
Morgan and Raquel have solid chemistry as a heel team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Nia Jax, obviously her involvement made sense coming up with her women's championship match.
Yeah.
And then let's see here. Stratton will be a huge baby. Yeah, like this says, it says Stratton will be a huge babyface star in WWE soon. Like, I agree with that. Like, once she hits Jax or whoever she's taking the title from,
she wrestles like a babyface to me already. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just hard not to like her athleticism and her gymnastics background, and like she's got the look. She's she can. I think her promo work is good when it's short and sweet, and it involves other people with her. But I think that is probably the one thing that I think she probably needs to get a little bit more stronger in. But I think it's going to come with repetition. I mean, she's got everything else.
for sure. Well, that pretty much wraps up Monday Night Raw there. If you want to make the hot tag over to Ohio Valley, good old OVW.
Well, before we make that hot tag to OVW, do have some wrestling news I want to talk about. Just coming out of recent news in the wrestling world.
You know what? This is the problem. We had, at the beginning of this show, we had our OVW Rush Division's champion, the star of the show, Star Rider, come in and graced us with his time. And he told you, Ryan, to not mock the revolution, to make fun of fellow loyal soldiers like myself. And what do you do now that he's away? You try to bully me with traumatizing cream. Like, this has become like and I'll tell you both this. Last night, I heard more chants saying, cream this guy, cream this guy. And it was coming from all over the arena.
Yeah.
To the point, I had to wear a poncho.
I saw that.
And the poncho didn't last because you know what happened? People that was sitting in my section, ramp side B, mind you, was ripping it off of me, tearing holes in it to the point where, you know, we're going to get to it eventually in the main event, but I digress. And I want to begin, if it's okay with both of you, before I have to give a signal of excellence for the higher level of intelligence to come in here and to straighten you out, Ryan. I don't want to have to do that. So may I do? I have your permission. You are the host. Oh,
Chris, what?
Listen, all I had to do, like I said, was give the signal of excellence. I did not. Listen, Ryan. I am an innocent man. I would never, like I said last week, ever purposely remove one of you from your very own podcast. But now I can't say that among the higher level of intelligence that's above me. So I'm sure your words, your actions are throwing my beautiful face getting creamed for the fourth straight week is probably an indication of what happened to poor Brian. And Brian did not deserve that. And if you notice, the last 2 weeks, Ryan, your words and your actions alone has caused your very own co-host to be constantly taken off screen. And I don't think that's fair. It's not fair to him. So hopefully he'll be able to come back on. But with your permission, you are the host. Do I have permission to talk about my pride and joy? Oh, you know, I'm getting so sick of even saying OVW. It should be called Leather Daddy Doug's Promotion. LDD, baby. That's what it should be called.
Wait. L what?
Listen. Don't you dare make this as a weird innuendo. This is a PG show, sir. I see what you're doing. You're trying to get me to go down that rabbit hole. You know what I meant by using the abbreviations of my father, the greatest father, your father, and everybody else's father at OVW. One Leather Daddy Doug. So please, may I begin the rundown. Brian, I see that you're back.
Oh well, welcome
These
back,
talks
Brian.
are getting outrageous.
What? Apparently, this is all because of me too, and my mouth. Apparently,
You started this, so apparently now I'm getting taken away by the freaking revolution here, man. It's just,
Gentlemen, I'm going to go on and dive in to what happened at OVW Rise at Hot Point Davis Arena. And mind you, we had a great start of the show where we had our current OVW Women's Champion, the Ultimate Athlete herself, and the guest that we're going to be coming on October 30th. That's right. Look at that flyer. Look at that. Ain't that wonderful? And you know something else? She is the queen. And she had to defend her women's championship against somebody that comes out and says they just want to get risky and thinks that they can just shrug their shoulders all over the place. Now, mind you, listen, Angelica Risk is an incredible talent. She is super strong. She's super gifted. The problem that she's having, she's going up against the Ultimate Athlete. And that's just something that you don't do, gentlemen. Now, let me ask you guys, obviously, the match was inevitable. We knew who was going to win this. There was no question and doubt. And, you know, I heard everybody at Hot Point Davis Arena last night. They were sighing in disbelief. Oh, my gosh, I can't get over. J-Rod won again. Why should it come as a surprise? She literally is the Ultimate Athlete. She is everything that every female right now in that OVW locker room wants to be. They want to be in her shoes where she's the queen. They want to have her championship. They want all her accolades. They want all her athleticism. But you know what? They can't have it. So our OVW Women's Champion retains. And I mind you, and I digress, and I would say it was just a very one-sided affair. Gentlemen, do you have anything else to add onto our queen, our OVW Women's Champion? And man, ain't she the Ultimate Athlete, Jayla.
she is sure a beast, but
she is a beast. I'll give her that. She's a beast. She's dominant. She looks like she should be in like UFC or something, to be honest.
Absolutely. That's why I told you, Ryan and Brian, when she does come on, like Star Rider said, you do not want to piss her off. Because that won't be me. That's going to make me look bad. So you don't want to do that. So let me move forward here, Joe. Let me move forward here. I even made a couple of little notes down here because the next thing we see is our father, Leather Daddy Doug, comes out to address the crowd and gives us all a taste of what's going to happen at Halloween Hell Night. That's right. On Halloween night, y'all, we're going to spin the wheel and make a deal. But before we actually get into that, we are addressing an issue with a guy that claims to be over. Exactly. Oh. Well, Brian, like I told Ryan, I had nothing to do with this. Absolutely nothing to do with this. And let me just say this, sir. Out of the two of you, I would rather you be on the screen with me because I kind of feel like you get it. You actually, I think, understand our father's vision. And I want to know, what did you think about our father, Mr. Leather Daddy Doug himself, Mr. Doug Basham, addressing the whole situation with the national heavyweight champion who is never around to defend anything, and he's 10 pounds less. And, you know, he likes to go around calling himself the over man. But we all know who's the real overman. It is Leather Daddy Doug. That's exactly who it is. And, we have Will Austin that actually comes out there. And, our father is such a giving father. He is putting out $10,000 of his own money to put a bounty on the head of one EC3. And what do we have, gentlemen? Or actually just say you, Brian, because actually Ryan is nowhere to be found. And I must say, it's probably well-deserved at this point. So then we have Will Austin come out there to make a claim. He thinks he should be in the Revolution. Then we have one that shocked me. Tony Evans comes out there to try to run and claim his, importance in this situation. And then Jay De Niro actually comes out with the loaded glove and hits Will Austin. And, it's to the point now we're going to have a fatal four-way match where the winner not only wins the $10,000 of our gracious father, Leather Daddy Doug's own personal money, but you're also going to be bringing home the National Heavyweight Championship home to the Revolution, where that is the only title at that point of the night that we need to get. So, Brian, thoughts and concerns with the situation that's going down at OVW's Reckoning pay-per-view?
Like you said, there's one that can carry 2 titles. There's one that can come back 10 pounds lighter.
That's right.
There's people that's there all the time. There's people's there when they want to be and defend.
That's right. And let me ask you this, sir. When's the last time we've seen actually EC3 around?
Months.
Yes. And then the one time he shows up, he had the audacity to get in that ring and claim that he's the leader.
Right.
This makes no sense at all. So then we move on. We move on to now Hollywood Haley J taking on Freya the Slayer. Let me just be honest with you. I was kind of torn in this because I've been kind of disappointed with Miss Hollywood Haley J. Not only has she refused acceptance of the Revolution, she has refused multiple occasions with me trying to bargain with her to come see the light, because I actually respect.
Wait.
Ryan, oh my goodness, man, you missed a whole segment, man. How dare you? Are the host of this show. You're supposed to be the one running the ship. What happens? You disappear.
See, something happened. I don't know what, but somehow I lost control of this. And next thing I know, I'm just gone. I don't know what's going on. Apparently, I'm being watched.
Well, listen, all that you missed, yes, you are being watched. We're all being watched. I'm even being watched. There is a higher level of intelligence. And what you just missed, sir, I was running down with Brian about now at OVW's Reckoning pay-per-view. We are going to have a fatal four-way National Heavyweight Championship match. And on top of that, our gracious father, Leather Daddy Doug, is going to give out whoever can take that title from EC3 home back to the Revolution, will also win $10,000 of his own money. That is what a great father does. And now where we're at currently, we are talking about Miss Hollywood Haley J taking on Freya the Slayer. And I was telling Brian before I got so rudely interrupted again with you coming back on, which you should have been gone in the first place. I was talking about how I have been so disappointed in Miss Hollywood Haley J's actions and how she keeps refusing to see the light. And I'll even go one further. Did you see how awesome our OVW Women's Champion is? And how awesome and forgiving, and how she gets the vision of our father. She even came out and even paid that receipt back to Freya from what happened the week before. She tried to give Freya the rub. Tried to give her the rub to come into the Revolution. She denied it. This week, she's trying to show Haley.
Thankfully, might add.
Well, listen. Our champion tried to show the light to not only Freya last week. She denied it. See what happened to her. Now Haley has got the opportunity to see the light. She better be careful of what she decides. And I love me some Hollywood Haley J. Everybody knows that. And mind you, I even was telling her when she was getting out of the ring after, her match. I was pointing at my shirt. I said, Haley, join the revolution. I'm trying to help you. You know what happens? I get flipped off. She flips me off. I was broken-hearted, gentlemen. So I'm actually going to be polite to let y'all actually speak to this match. What did you like about it? Where do you think things are going? And don't y'all dare. I will say this. Don't you dare talk bad about the Queen. Wait a minute. What was that again? Who did that? See, it's stuff like that that is going to cause me to show the signal of excellence. Now, gentlemen, like I said before, let's not make this about my beautiful face, because it is beautiful, and I know it. Let's make this about this match that I'm just talking about currently. What did you like about it?
Cream is going to your head, brother.
The cream is literally, did you know what happened again? Since you brought this back up, and I don't even want to bring this up, but you know what I'm going to do? Because I'm personally scarred for life. I came home. I had to drive home. Actually, no, my wife drove home in her Honda Fit and told me before I got into the car, we're going to get to it eventually, I had to take my shirt off because I was so drenched in cream, not only on my head, not on my face, on my arms. It was all over my shirt. And you know how cold and embarrassing it was? Yes, that is the face of a man that is personally scarred for now forever. It shouldn't happen. It should stop. Omar and Luscious has been picking this with me, and I don't know why. I'm a paying customer just like everybody else.
And not to cut you off, but I just want to thank someone for that photo.
Who put this photo up of me?
I want to thank one Matthew Berry for this photo. That was great. Matthew Berry, thumbs up to you.
I love Matt. I love him so much. He's an awesome guy. I can't talk bad about him because I don't think he meant to make it the way it came across. But I will say this. He is a perfect photographer. He does so many great things. But I will say this. I did not deserve to get cream for a 4th week, gentlemen. I had cream coming out of my ear canals. I had cream coming out of places that a man shouldn't have cream coming out of. And yes, this is a PG show, but this is what's happened since you brought it up. Now, can we please get back on track? Because I'm already having literally a moment here, and I'm about to break down.
Yes. Let's get back on track.
Continue. So real quick, like I was trying to ask, what did you think of the Haley J and Freya match? And don't y'all dare talk bad about the Queen. That's all I
give me a triple threat with these 3 ladies.
What do you think, Ryan?
Oh yeah, I for one, I'm all Freya. I'm all Freya.
I'm all Hollywood.
I like Hollywood, but
I like them both, but I'll go with Hollywood.
Freya is dominant.
I will say this. I think all 3 ladies are super talented. Everybody knows how much I love Hollywood. I love her to death. But Freya, as strong as she is and as talented as she is and how good Haley is, they are going to fail in the long scheme of things. Because I'm telling you, gentlemen, I've been telling everybody, you cannot outsmart the Revolution. And I'm telling you, will there be a triple threat match? It could potentially happen. But I promise you this, the end result is going to be the same. Because at the end of the day, the Revolution always wins. Now let me move ahead here. So then we literally have, and this is the part of the show that gets very interesting. Mr. Fanny Pack himself, Mr., in my opinion, Nepotism 10.0, comes out and addresses my father, Leather Daddy Doug, and says that the board of directors should legitimately continue to investigate, and they are doing a good job of trying to get him out of his job, which is horrible. It is horrible. He is trying to make OVW wonderful from the other person that was running, and who I actually love myself, but it's not. It's Doug's inheritance. That is his OVW. He was the very first signee under Mr. Danny Davis. This is the issue, gentlemen, that we are having. I've got it on my papers. The problem is, Cal comes out. He addresses everything going on with our father. Cash Flow then comes out, given his grievances. His grievances are not met very well, as it shouldn't be. And then, you know, he keeps coming out. Cash says that he should be fired. He goes as far as to say Doug should be fired. Why should a man who has been so giving be fired? I think you know what? Him being on Tulsa King, I think it's all went to his head. He thinks he's still Bigfoot. This is OVW. This is Doug Basham's OVW. And then on top of that, the ring keeps filling up, gentlemen. The ring keeps filling up. Then we have not just Cash Flow that comes out. Then let me get myself together here. We then get Beaches and Cream that comes out. And they make claims that Doug has screwed everybody since he's been in charge. And then we get Super Z that comes out and claims that Doug is the ultimate villain. And, you know, and then poor our father has to come out and address this once and for all, once again, and comes out and tells them that their grievances are met with, you know, just horribleness of everything. And then we get all the members of Revolution come out there, and we're going to get a little trick or treat. That's right, guys. We're getting a trick or treat special that happened. Our father is so giving, guys. He could have waited to Halloween Hell Night to give us the spin the wheel or make a deal. But you know what he did? He gave us another glimpse of his awesome leadership. He gave us another indication of why the board of directors should not fire him. He should not even be under investigation. He gave us multiple matches, specialty matches, which I will get into. I'm glad that you asked. We had our current OVW heavyweight champion, Mount Kadeem. And let me tell you guys, he's immovable. He took on Super Z in a bull rope match. And let me ask you gentlemen something. On paper, and you know, everybody kept chanting Super Z, Super Z. As soon as the match was made, even before the special, the type of match it was, when they seen it was Mount Kadeem, that mountain of a man that's going to go up against Super Z, you should have heard the whispers. Because everybody knew that Super Z was not going to stand the chance. And what happens? He gets put in a bull rope match because he runs his mouth. And you know what? That wheel, it was sealed his fate because of all the bad stuff that he's been talking and proclaiming against our father. So guess what, gentlemen? It was in a nutshell what was going to happen. Super Z tried to get some offense in. It didn't affect him. Mount Kadeem came through it. He's the winner. He is still our OVW heavyweight champion. Gentlemen, did I miss anything in this match? Or am I just this awesome and just, you know, the Revolution? I'm just saying.
I think this guy just likes to hear himself talk.
Not fair.
How was it not fair? This is not Doug's fault. He was giving us all an opportunity to win something before Hell Night.
Doug clearly had that thing rigged, as I said earlier, when Star Rider was on. That was rigged.
Do you really think that our father would rig something in favor of what we already got the advantage? We got the titles. We have the titles. There's no reason to rig it. You have a mountain of a man. You got a Super Z that thinks he's 1 minute, he thinks he's Batman, he thinks he's Superman. It doesn't matter. You can't move him. And that's what happened in that bull rope match. Mount Kadeem retained. Then we move forward, gentlemen. We move forward to our media champion, Shotgun Tony I didn't do it enough, give it enough grace, but I tried. Took on one Luscious Lawrence in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And let me just say this. Setting aside my issues with Luscious, I will say this. I thought Luscious showed a pretty good mean streak in this match, gentlemen. I thought that he tried to bring everything that he could. But you know what? Like all things in life, it just keeps coming back to the same thing. Everybody kept saying, Luscious has got it. And then when it happens at the end, Shotgun Tony Gunn retains. Was it ever in doubt? I don't think so, gentlemen. I don't know why week after week we are painted out to be the villains. We are not the villains. We are misconstrued. We are misconstrued.
What was that? Y'all got screws loose?
Well,
I think I heard that too.
Listen, I don't think nobody has any screws loose. I think we're all very well competent and we see the light. That is the difference between people in the revolution and people who are not. So
I will say, just real quick, I will say that this match, to me, was match of the night by far.
Thank you.
By far, this was match of the night.
I agree.
It was amazing. And you can think, and I will say this on record. Luscious is an incredible talent. He is a great superstar. He can wrestle. He's got everything. The thing that he is missing, he's too busy worrying about being creamy and doing all this. They're too worried. You know why he lost, gentlemen? You want me to be honest with you? Why the man lost? He was too focused on me. And I am no threat. I'm a paying customer sitting in my section like I do every single week, and he took his eye off the ball. And that's the issue. He's super talented. He took his eye off the ball. Star Rider would agree with me. You're going to find out that J-Rod's going to agree with me. It is the issue that everybody in the OVW locker room, everybody that's there in attendance who's not a proud supporter, member, soldier of the revolution, that we always win. That's it. And then, so Tony Gunn retains. Look, see, it's stuff like that. That's the problem. I'm glad that you put that up. That's why Luscious lost. That is exactly why he's focused on me. And believe me, I know I'm beautiful. I know I am. But I'm a happily married man. And you know what? I don't want no part of that cream of the whatever tag team, whatever they want to call themselves.
The Wet Dream Tag Team.
I don't even like when you say it like that. Anyways, so then we move forward, gentlemen, to what we had the honor of talking to our OVW Rush Division champion, the star of the show, Star Rider, as he defended his division championship against Mr. Bigfoot and Mr. Big Superstar Cash Flow in a tables match. And let me tell you guys something. When that match began, I heard everybody sitting around me. Everybody was laughing. They were saying, oh, this is going to be easy. This is going to be Cash's moment. Like, Cash is going to break Star Rider. What did the star of the show do? He literally ran circles around him. It was not even close, gentlemen. Our Rush Division's champion put one of the biggest stars that ever come through probably OVW, and probably one of the biggest stars currently, Cash Flow, through a table, and yet everybody is still saying, how did that happen? It's not a shock to me. Why is it a shock? He is the star of the show. That is why Leather Daddy Doug recruited him. That is why I am there to scout. That's why there is a higher level of intelligence that's even above me. So, gentlemen, I also thought this could have been the match of the night. Quality. And I'm just so happy that our Rush Division's champion came on tonight, did all of us a solid when he didn't even have to. Even though, Ryan, you kind of wasted his time. Let's just call it what it is. You wasted his time. Brian, I actually don't fault you. I think that, I've been defending you on this. I think that At some point, I asked both of you gentlemen, and we're going to get to this question. I asked y'all, when are you going to see the light? You had a week to make a decision. So I have to know here, whether it be momentarily or in a little while. We'll probably wait a little bit. I'm going to give you a little bit more time to talk about it. We got bills to pay. We got to get people all accredited for. But we got to get to the main event. I'm getting there. I know we're running long, but it's worth it because it is the revolution. We get to the part of the show that is still upsetting to me. And I want to paint the picture. We had a OVW Tag Team Championship match between our champions, AJZ and Dalton McKenzie, taking on the team of Omar Mir and Cal Hero in a Texas Tornado tag match. Now, gentlemen, on paper, Omar and Cal is a tag team. That just didn't make no sense to me at all. And, you know, the crazy thing about it is, you know, AJZ and Dalton McKenzie, they had this all in the bag. They had this in the bag. And then what happens? All of a sudden, what changed everything? The same thing that the OVW faithful are accusing us of each and every week is how we cheat on everything that we do. We take, you know, all the shortcuts. Well, here's the deal. What happened last night? Or for those who are watching this on Saturday, who, you know, on Thursday night, what happened? One veteran, Jack Vaughn, makes his big return and comes and spoils the plans of the revolution. The thing that drives me insane is the fact that we're painted out to be the villains. But when Team OVW gets some help and you guys take some shortcuts, the whole night we ran roughshod. Up until the very end, we got blindsided. You guys cheated. And you know what? I guarantee you this is the farthest thing from being over, because I think Jack Vaughn is an incredible talent. I think he's an incredible wrestler. But he just sealed his fate with our Father. And gentlemen, I will tell you this. I would hate to be the veteran Jack Vaughn next week. If he dares show up in front of Doug, exactly. If he shows up in front of the greatest superstar OVW's ever had, our Father, Leather Daddy Doug, will purposely take care of it. And that ain't even the worst part. While they were celebrating or about to win, I got 6 cans of whipped cream. 6 cans. This ain't 2. They brought 4 other cans that they had on the other side. I got assaulted and violated with, look at that. That is the look of a man who's just trying to watch a show, and this is what I get. Look at that face. That used to be a beautiful face. It is forever scarred. Look at this. Let me show you guys this. I want the audience to see this. Look at this hair. What little hair I got left. I am losing all my hair, and it is because of beaches and cream. But you know what? I am a firm believer you reap what you sow. So you know what? If they want to continue to make a mockery of me, if the whole OVW family wants to make fun of me, laugh at me, call me Krispy Kreme, call me whatever, they can. It is a sacrifice I'm willing to make as long as it is in the good graces of my Father, Leather Daddy Doug.
Cream filling.
That was OVW Rise. It was a perfect show until the final 10 minutes or so. And then it went away. And I hope
it was a really good show.
It was a great show. But Ryan, I hope that you left, and I hope you got as much of a chuckle out of it as everybody else did, is seeing me get embarrassed for a 4th straight week, because I'm telling you, we will, even if it comes at the expense of me taking one for the team, we will have the final laugh at the end. They say the one who laughs loudest laughs, or something. You got me so screwed up I can't even think. There's a saying, something like the one who laughs most laughs the loudest. Well, we will have the final laugh in this math. I got so much cream in my ears, so much cream still all over me, I can't even think straight. So, gentlemen, if you don't have any other remarks, let's pay these bills, because I have a question I have to ask.
Before we pay bills, I do have wrestling news we want to talk about. Just past couple weeks, some wrestling news that we want to talk about. So we have MVP, Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin have signed with AEW. That is huge news. I could not talk about that. What do we all think about MVP and Shelton Benjamin signing with AEW?
It's a great way to bring them over. Bring Bobby Lashley next. Put Bobby Lashley with them. Put Swerve with them. Give the the Hurt Business 2.0.
Whose house?
Swerve's house.
I love it. I love them.
But no, it's a really great, two talents right there joining AEW for sure.
Definitely. Then we have Survivor Series. This is not a big news thing, but Survivor Series will have an early start time, as did the previous pay-per-view, or PLE, Bad Blood, of 3 p.m. Pacific and 6 p.m. Eastern time. And so
perfect.
I'm loving these new early hours for pay-per-views or PLEs.
I hope it stays. I hope it stays like that. I could get some more sleep at night before I get to work.
Exactly. Then next thing we have the last two pieces of news. We have Bob Ryder, who I believe he was a long time TNA. He was a long time TNA. I believe he was. Don't quote me on this. Believe he was a security guard, long-time security guard for TNA, and also Rhino are going to be inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame at Bound for Glory on countdown to Bound for Glory. So
nice,
huge class this year.
They deserve it.
They do.
And then the last and final piece of news: Casey Navarro has signed with TNA.
Yep.
If you're not familiar with Casey Navarro, he's been working TNA lately here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, if you're a YouTube watcher and you watch a Grimm's Toy Show on YouTube, we've had a couple of their stars, and one past star and one current star. Really, actually, both are past stars of GTS. But Casey Navarro, actually, the first time I heard of him was on GTS.
That's the same with MJF. He was on GTS, and now he's one of the biggest, highest paid superstars there is, or wrestler, whatever you want to call him.
Yes.
And so huge news right there.
Good for him, man. That's awesome. That's awesome.
For sure. But right now, that's all the news pieces I have, unless you all have anything else.
No, that's all the ones I was going to go over too. So
yep.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and throw up that first graphic.
Boom.
All right, there we go. Supreme Wrestling. Check them out. Their Final Fridays, in addition to their events every Saturday evening in Madison, Indiana. We'll also host a live event on the final Friday of each month. So check out final Friday of each month at Supreme Championship Wrestling, or Supreme Wrestling rather. And then again, every Saturday, it's 2520 Lanier Drive, and that's Madison, Indiana. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. Bell time is at 7 p.m. All tickets are just $9. Can't beat that.
Not
Right,
at all.
you really
Check
can't
out
beat
Supreme.
that, and it's great talent there. You guys, check out their shows, man.
Yes.
Go support your local indie shows, guys. That's what helps everything keep growing and, you know, staying fluid. That's what you got to do.
Exactly.
And here's another one of
And then
our favorite
tomorrow-
promotions here.
TCW Traditional Championship Wrestling. They're actually hosting a show tomorrow, Halloween Bash 45. And that is over at the arena, 1416 Spring Street, Jeffersonville, Indiana. A friend of mine, actually Cage Cutler, he's an alumni of the show, of the podcast here. He is going to be actually wrestling on this show. And so also you see Apollo and HNIC right there. Be sure to check out TCW Halloween Bash. Not a lot of people know this, but actually Brian does know this for sure. I was actually on a TCW show ring announcing. This has been a couple years now. So
yep.
Much love to TCW. I'm actually planning on getting out to the show tomorrow. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. Bell time is at 7, and all tickets for adults are $10, and kids tickets are $5.
Can't beat that. Come out to the arena, see some awesome wrestling.
Yes, and as Chris said, go support indie wrestling in your area. These men and women, they put their bodies on the line to entertain us all. It's all fun. It's all entertainment, and it's all for a good thing. Go out and spend your hard-earned money on some great wrestling action wherever you are in the world, wherever you are in the country.
I couldn't agree more.
Absolutely.
Now it's time to pay some bills. Then we got a question to answer.
Yes, we do.
Anyways, here we go. CollarandElbowBrand.com, man. Use promo code FinalCountKY to save yourself 10%. Check out all the amazing merch over there on CollarandElbowBrand.com. Use our promo code FinalCountKY, save 10%. Just go support your local wrestler. It's the best wrestling brand out there.
And shop at www.shop.com using our personal link in the description of the episode below.
Head on over to jccountyapp.com now to get your official Final Count hoodie for $45 and the t-shirt only for $25, guys. Help support us. It really means a lot. Some awesome apparel you guys can get.
Or check out the website that I made. I'll be posting on social media, or you can ask me for the link and I will personally send it to you. Without further ado, don't forget to check out the audio version of our podcast. You can check it on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Republic, and iTunes. When I say we are on everything, we are on everything.
Everywhere.
And head over to w.gg and use promo code FinalCountKY to save 10% at checkout. It is your taste buds' favorite energy drink. Again, that's w.gg. Use the promo code FinalCountKY. And real quick, before we answer this question, let's go to our good friend, well, my good friend, Al Snow.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
Hold on. That's not how we're going to end this. I am going to ask politely, before I give the signal of excellence, for one more slide to be shown, for everybody to go and buy the correct OVW apparel. So, Ryan, I'm going to ask politely, will you please, because I know y'all received the video 2 weeks in a row. Yes, you have. Will you please play the video?
Revolution. Buy the shirt. Join the revolution. Buy the shirt. Join the revolution. Buy the shirt. Buy the shirt. Join the revolution.
That's right.
The revolution.
You can shop at OVW.com and get your very own Revolution t-shirt. Now, gentlemen, we come to the part of the show. I gave y'all a full week to think really hard. And I did that. I didn't even have to do that. But, I did it because I actually respect both of you. I mean, after all, y'all did let me come on this podcast. So, gentlemen, what's it going to be? Are you going to join the revolution? Have you saw the light? Ryan, I'm going to start with you. Have you saw the light?
No, I'll take it from here. Absolutely. So, it's been a week. I saw the lights of Davis Arena last week. Hot Point Davis Arena, that is. You asked me if I finally saw the light, and you know what? The revolution always wins.
What? Wait, what? You two of all people.
It was only a matter of time.
This is ridiculous. This is beyond ridiculous.
Ryan, do you can't be. Who do you think I've been working with this whole time, dude? Who have I been sending these videos to? Who do you think I've said? There is a higher level of intelligence. It's been right in front of you the whole time, my man. And you're going to find out the coming weeks, even if I'm not around fully, just understand this. We always win.
Well, I cannot stoop as low as you have just now, Brian. And I will not join or come alongside the revolution. There's my answer.
Well,
there's only one thing
to win.
Brian. Brian, I think you know what to do from here.
What are you talking about?
I think it's time that you had a formal exit, Ryan.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Plan B always works. Never felt like I made a better decision in my life than what I've made tonight. Chris, I thank you for giving me this spot.
Brother, it was always in the works.
That's right.
Final count audience. If you think you can outsmart us, If you think you know more, matter of fact, let's just be honest. If you actually think that you can outsmart the revolution, this is a perfect example. We always win.
That's right.